Welcome to our talk. My name is Nathalie and I'll present our paper, Data Every Day, Designing and Living with Personal Situated Visualizations. This is a collaboration between myself, Vermeulen, and Wesley Willett. Throughout their history, visualization tools have predominantly aimed to communicate ideas and solve problems in professional settings. Even today, visualization systems target mainly traditional desktop and office use cases. Over the past decade, however, a growing number of personal informatics and visualization tools have started to enable data collection and exploration at more personal scales. These tools, however, still mainly rely on automated sensor-driven data collection and take the form of desktop and mobile applications that are isolated from the tasks and the phenomena they visualize. In this paper, we instead examine the potential of dedicated visualizations situated in relevant physical spaces that support lightweight manual input. For example, to track and reflect daily hygiene habits, kitchen experiments, or even everyday clothing choices in lightweight, contextually relevant ways. By situating these visualizations in existing environments, these trackers have the potential to make it possible to record and visualize data in situ and to embed trackers into people's existing practices to support a variety of everyday tasks. We conceived this project as a way of exploring the potential for personalized and situated visualization tools to support a range of everyday reflection and tasks. Specifically, we hope to envision new and wide-ranging applications for personal informatics enabled by emerging technologies like ubiquitous displays that make it possible to situate information throughout everyday domestic and work environments. To achieve this, our design process consisted of multiple phases. First, a 5-month autobiographical design study with me and my 2 co-authors. Employing an autobiographical design approach was motivated by our personal interest in self-tracking and enabled us to gain deep insights into the long-term usage and impact of trackers in our personal spaces and allowed us to rapidly prototype and tinker with a range of different tracking applications. Second, a 3-month complementary co-design study where we created trackers together with 6 participants. This approach enabled us to give participants an active role in the design process so that they could shape their tracker designs and tailor them to their unique living situations. This was followed by an extended use phase of a subset of the trackers for another 5 months by both authors and participants. We used an iterative design process to create our tracking applications where we prototyped trackers in weekly design cycles that were organized around 3 phases: planning, prototyping, and use and reflection. We kept this design process for both the autobiographical design part and the co-design part of the study. We additionally supported participants through an initial brainstorming meeting to come up with a tracker design and conducted an interview after a period of use. We prototyped the trackers on smartphones, tablets, and e-readers using web technologies. We served the web pages from a remote host and displayed the trackers in the phone's web browsers. To capture our experiences and reflections, we used a diary study approach for our own trackers and participants' trackers. We structured our process around 4 design goals. All of the trackers we designed combine visualization and data input on a dedicated and persistent always-on display to support peripheral use and streamline the data entry process, like this communal plant watering tracker in an office space that was situated next to a sink. All of our trackers were relevantly situated to examine the impact of placing trackers in locations that would be relevant to the tracking and the phenomena we were capturing, like situating a cookie tracker next to a cookie jar. To capture a diverse range of lived experiences that might otherwise be difficult to instrument, we designed all of our trackers to support lightweight manual inputs to track data, like the static door shock tracker in an office space, where data could be tracked by pressing the yes or no buttons. Lastly, we focused on simple, modular, and customizable tracker designs that are easy to adapt, iterate, and personalize to be able to experiment with a broad range of potential applications. We ended up with 30 different trackers, 21 from the autobiographical design phase and 9 from participants. In addition to the previous examples, the tracked phenomena ranged from work habits and productivity, family health like tracking diapers, to whereabouts of a cat in an apartment. Over the course of 10 months, we recorded a total of 2,941 data points across all designs, with the total number per tracker ranging from 6 to 442. The most used tracker recorded data points on 209 different days, while the least used included only a single day. In the following, I will highlight a selection of our findings that we distilled based on the material we collected, including diary entries from authors and participants, researchers' notes, photographs and screenshots of the trackers, and interviews. We found that tracking data on dedicated displays situated in relevant locations facilitated regular tracking habits and often served as a reminder to reflect, like placing trackers close to relevant objects, such as this jar of a fermentation project in the kitchen where the tracked phenomena took place. In some cases, however, persistent situated displays were less useful when personal devices were already part of tracking routines, or when the tracked phenomenon was difficult to situate anywhere but on the person themselves, such as this license plate tracker. These kinds of small, situated personal visualizations and tracking tools can support a wide range of everyday self-tracking, awareness, and decision-making tasks, creating opportunities for future research to explore new lightweight personal informatics tools in everyday settings, using both existing mobile devices and dedicated hardware. While some of our trackers were uniquely tailored to specific tasks, others were more general in their visual design. Throughout the design process, we reused a number of existing tracker designs by adapting them to different scenarios, like repurposing our streak trackers to different applications to track exercise, rain, or biking. Overall, our experience suggests that a small number of tracker templates can support a diverse set of tracking practices, especially trackers that are end-user customizable. The trackers that could most easily be templated include our streak trackers, timeline trackers, and image-based trackers. Throughout our process, we used a number of different trackers that we reused, abandoned, adapted, and tweaked in multiple iterations, like the store shop tracker. This allowed us to quickly converge on trackers that actively supported both short-term and long-term tracking goals. Our experience of designing and living with our trackers showcases ways of thinking about personal data that more explicitly acknowledge the pragmatics of everyday life, and treat abandonment, reuse, and tweaking as natural parts of the design process, where these kinds of personal lightweight trackers are evolving tools for self-awareness and decision-making rather than solutions. Our explorations present long-term insights of designing and living personal situated visualizations on small displays. Our findings also highlight the value of simple, expressive, and adaptable designs and the potential of new hardware platforms and data sources. For more of our findings on visual design, data entry, and customization, please refer to our paper. You can also find the code of our trackers on GitHub. Thank you.